Hello friends, and welcome to the video. So this is the next video in the series about the Direct Path User Guide by Greg Good. We're going through the book. Here we are in the section about the witness and dissolving the witness, or the opaque witness, where we think it's this thing where all the hidden mechanism is in because it's clearly not in the world. And we're dissolving that to become the transparent witness, so that we see that there's nothing there that's doing any of this. It's no hidden mechanism. And then so that eventually dissolves and we have non-dual realization, because as long as you've got a subject and object, there's a big duality there. So this video is about space. Greg Good doesn't really go into it. He mentions that it was mostly done through the body and the world sections. So, and then also time, but which he does give an experiment for. But I'm going to go in a bit more detail into space, just remind you of some things that we've seen. The idea is that we're not looking at the world anymore, because we've seen the world. We're more looking at how awareness works. The witness, maybe you think that consciousness permeates space, or that consciousness is a big box, bigger than space, where everything happens in. So it's kind of a space, a super big space. And that's what we have to address, because it's really the idea of absolute space, and is just the biggest container metaphor there is. And we've already looked at these container metaphors, where there's an inside and an outside. So I'll quickly go over some of the things that make us feel like there's space. Now, so when you look at an apple, you see red. Now, we can't find any objects out there. That's the idea. And this is because you see red, and you don't see red and then the apple behind it. You just see the red, or the apple, this field of color that's there. That's the only thing. There's nothing behind it saying that there is actually an object behind the field of color. But the more important thing is that it's not like you are looking at the field of color. If we just focus on that visual channel, there is also, if you can't see the seer. So it's not like you are seeing something out there. In your visual channel, you can't find any subject either. So it's just this arising in awareness. This is from sight, and it's made more real when we have a combination of sensations. So we could look at sound, hearing. You hear something off in the distance, and it's the same thing. It's not like you hear, if we just focus on the hearing channel and ignore the other channels, the smell and all of this, you don't hear something and then you hear the thing that's producing the sound. It's just there's the sound, there is the hearing. And equally, you can't hear the hearer. There is just the hearing. There's just hearing arising in awareness. In direct experience, there's no space there. Things get more intense, things get bigger and things get smaller. But now with video games, we can all see that you can play a 3D video game, and you know it's a field on the screen, or even if you have 3D goggles or a headset, it's just two screens. These are just shapes, fields of color that give the impression of depth, increasing in size, decreasing in size. And with sound, there's this old thing they used to do on the radio, where to make it sound like a horse was approaching, they would get two coconuts and go clip, clop, and it would start off clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, Okay, the horse has arrived. And then it leaves. Clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop, clip, clop. Gives the sense of depth. This is just increasing and decreasing intensity. Then, well, we say, okay, and you can say this for all of the things. With the sense of smell, something seems to get closer, and you see them getting closer, and you hear them getting closer. But these are just the real powerful effect, the reality effect, as it's called, is created because we're putting these different channels together. But if you find no object in one and no subject in one, nothing in the other, in the second, and nothing in the third, 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. It doesn't suddenly become something. Now, that's the world. In direct experience, we don't find any space. We just find arisings in awareness. But what makes it even more real is the body. And sometimes the body can be ignored in non-duality, in the self-inquiry. But you put your hand out, you pick up an apple, you feel it's an apple, and you taste the apple. That is very real 3D space there. But as we saw in the section of the body, the sensation of you moving your hand, the movement, the proprioception, the feeling of your hand being in a certain position, that is arising directly in awareness. You feel your hand is in a certain position or moving, and this is the same. This is just this flow of arisings. When you touch the apple, that touch, it's not, you don't feel it traveling up your arm and into your brain. That touch of the apple is just arising straight out of awareness. And when you let go, awareness is there again. It comes out of awareness and goes back into awareness. What's in between? It is awareness. The feeling, the cold of the apple, again, it doesn't, all these things don't add up to something. Each one in themselves is just pointing directly into awareness, not into a 3D world. And when you taste it, again, it's very real. It's got so many aspects to it, the crunch, the texture, the flavor. But as we did in the videos, we separated all these out and we saw that each one is just arising in awareness, and together they have this very strong reality effect. So we don't find in direct experience any space. In a memory, you don't find, is there any space in a memory? In a dream, is there really any space in the dream? Even though you know that you experience space. These things, this inquiry that we're doing doesn't mean that we need to abandon our everyday life and stop walking around and stop going to shops or going to the gym or doing exercise. This is for a different reason. This is because we have decided to explore our direct experience for the purpose of non-dual realization. We had the two levels of reality: the real world, the lower truth, transactional reality, and then the ultimate reality, what's here. And surprisingly, the ultimate reality isn't something which is conceptual. The thing that is actually conceptual is the everyday reality. And the ultimate reality is the thing that we're in direct contact with. And that's why it's the truth. So next time we're going to look at time. Next time we're going to look at time. And then we're going to look at truth. So that's going to be very interesting. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.